this is Angela from Natural Living Alchemy. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how we can get whey out of milk kefir that we have cultured ourselves. Now be sure to check out my other milk kefir videos that I will have linked in the description box below this video. And they would include a video on how to culture your own milk kefir, how to freeze the grains, how to defrost the grains, and then how to use milk kefir grains to culture cream to make ice cream. Another thing that you'll find in the description box is just a link to the full written blog article that does accompany this video. You're only going to need a few pieces of equipment. The first one is you're going to need a jar of cultured milk kefir. And then I'm going to show you what I got in my little setup here. This is how I prefer to strain my whey. So I'm going to take I find a measuring cup is a little bit easier to use than a bowl, especially when it comes to pouring the whey out of here into a jar. The spout's helpful. Then I have just a little mesh strainer. I have 2 pieces of muslin. You could use cheesecloth. Okay, mine is reusable, but these cloths and this bag I have used solely for when I'm culturing dairy. I have another set that I use from when I'm doing other things. Okay, I just do like to keep them separate. Then you're going to need something like a nut milk bag. Now you could definitely just use more cheesecloth. I just find these bags a little bit easier to use. So you're just going to put everything in your bowl. Okay. So you're just going to take your milk kefir and you're just going to pour it into the strainer. And then we are just going to allow everything to drip through all of our layers. I will be adding more from this jar into our little setup as more of this drips out. So once you have all of your kefir in your straining apparatus, we will call it, we're going to just leave it. And you're going to leave it until you notice that your kefir is beginning to pull away from the cheesecloth. Now, that can take anywhere from 2 to 24 hours to happen. So it's now been 24 hours, and as you can see, our kefir is beginning to pull away from the sides of the nut milk bag, and that is exactly what we're looking for. So before we do our second part of our straining, I'm just going to move this out of the way, and then I'm going to show you how we strain this out. So we have about 2 cups of whey that we've managed to get out of our 4 cups of milk kefir, and that's great. So what you're going to do is take a mason jar. Now, I do sometimes like to put one of these canning funnels in there just to make sure everything is caught. Put a little mesh strainer and then some cheesecloth just inside there. And I've folded this up a bunch of times. So what we're going to do is just pour our whey through this cheesecloth now, and that is going to just definitely help to strain out any of the milk solids that are at the bottom of this measuring cup. Now that will take just a couple minutes to start kind of going through all of those layers of the cheesecloth, and that's fine. So I'm just going to put that, actually, let's move this over here. Now you could actually just leave this the way that it is with the amount of whey that you've dripped out, okay? Or I'm wanting to get a little bit more out, so what we're going to do is we're going to hang it. So I'm going to just move you and show you what I mean by that. Oh, but as you can see, our whey has finally started to go through our cheesecloth and it is straining out. Yeah, so maybe you can pick it up, but you can definitely see that there is some of those solid, some of that milk solids that ended up in our whey. Okay. Perfect. So once this is all dripped through, I am just going to store this jar in the refrigerator. So let's move it out of the way because our whey is in the way, and I'm going to show you how we do our second dripping off of this milk kefir. So you have two choices on how we are going to drip the rest of this whey out of this milk kefir. So one way that you can do it, now seems a little bit weird that we're going to be leaving this out of the fridge now, but it has been cultured, so it should be okay for a couple hours. So you're just going to close the drawstring of your nut milk bag, and then I like to just use this piece of my cupboard here. So all you would do is just wrap this around. And then you're just going to let gravity do more of its thing and allow more of the kefir to just start dripping out of here. You could definitely, once a little bit more has dripped out, you could squeeze it to try to get the rest out if you want. Now, if you did not want to hang it on your cupboard, you're going to want to grab a wooden spoon, and then you're just going to wrap your bag around your spoon, or if you were using cheesecloth, you would just kind of tie it up. And then you would just kind of have it stay in that way. So whichever way that you want to do to allow more of this kefir to drip from our cream cheese is perfect. Be inventive. Maybe you'll come up with a different way apart from these two as to how you want to drip yours out. Now, one last thing that you would want to do is there's going to be a whole bunch of whey in the original cheesecloth that you had your nut milk bag sitting in. So all you would do is just leave it over this little strainer apparatus, and you just want to squeeze this out with clean hands. Okay, perfect. And then yeah, depending on how much of the kefir you get out of here, you could definitely squeeze this too, and then that will allow more of our whey to just drip out of our cream cheese. Let's talk about storage. So you are going to be able to store your whey for up to 6 months in the refrigerator. Now you can freeze it, but I will share some ideas on ways that you can use it in a second. So now that we have our whey and we have our cream cheese, what can we do with it? So whey can be used in many different ways. It can be used as a starter for cultured vegetables. You could take it as a health shot. You could just add your liquid whey into smoothies. You could soak certain foods in them, making them more bioavailable and digestible, such as beans, oats, or nuts before eating, and even whole grains before you're grinding them to help make them easier to digest. Whey can be used to tenderize meat when put in a marinade, and it could also replace lemon or orange juice in recipes, as it does hold those same acidic properties. And you can water plants with diluted whey to just give them a boost of vitamins. Now, the cream cheese that you're going to have left, don't be expecting anything like Philadelphia cream cheese. It's not quite going to be the same, but the cream cheese that you're going to get from this, you can use as a replacement for sour cream or cream cheese in various recipes. And one of my favorite ways to use it is actually just a base for different dips. I have a probiotic kefir tzatziki dip that is just amazing. If you are interested in learning how to make that, comment down below and I'll make a video about it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, or share it with anyone else who you think might enjoy it. Consider subscribing to the channel so that we can spend more time together and that you don't miss future videos. But I just want to say thanks for stopping by today, and I'll see you next time.